A New Life in London. Maria Delgado had been living in London for almost a year, yet every morning still felt like the beginning of an adventure. When she first left Valencia, she believed London would be simple, a big city full of opportunities. Instead, she discovered that life in Britain required patience, organisation, and a lot of English conversations she had never practiced before. Still, she loved the city. She loved the quiet sound of buses in the morning, the smell of coffee shops opening early, and the feeling that every street held a story. One grey Monday morning, she woke up with a sore throat and a headache. Rain tapped softly against the windows of her small flat in East London. "Perfect," she sighed. "The week of my job interview, and I'm ill." She made tea, wrapped herself in a warm jumper, and decided she should finally register with a doctor. She had postponed it for months. After searching online for the local clinic, she dialed the number. A receptionist answered with a cheerful voice. "Good morning, Riverside Medical Center." Maria took a breath and said carefully, "Hello, can I book an appointment, please?" "Of course," the receptionist replied. "Are you already registered with us?" Maria hesitated. "Well, I'd like to register with a GP. I've recently moved here." "That's perfectly fine," the receptionist said. "We can help you with that." Maria felt relieved. Then she asked, "Is there a GP available today?" "Yes, there's an appointment this afternoon." The receptionist began explaining several forms and details about the registration process. The explanation came quickly, and Maria struggled to follow every word. She smiled apologetically, even though the receptionist couldn't see her. "Sorry, I'm still learning English. Would you mind repeating that?" The receptionist slowed down and repeated everything patiently. Before ending the call, Maria asked one last question. "Do I need to bring my ID?" "Yes," the receptionist replied. "Please bring your ID and something that shows your address." The first errand of the day. That afternoon, Maria walked through the damp streets toward the clinic. London looked calm under the light rain, and people hurried past with umbrellas. The doctor confirmed that her illness was only a mild infection. "Nothing serious," he said kindly. "You just need some medicine." He printed a prescription and handed it to her. "Take this to a pharmacy." Outside the clinic, Maria looked around. She had no idea where the nearest pharmacy was. She approached an elderly man walking his dog. "Excuse me, where is the nearest pharmacy?" He pointed down the street. "Just around the corner, next to the supermarket." Inside the pharmacy, Maria waited in line until it was her turn. "Hello," she said, handing over the prescription. "I need to collect my prescription." The pharmacist nodded and typed something into the computer. "That will be ready in a moment." While waiting, Maria observed the quiet British atmosphere. No one spoke loudly. People stood patiently in line. When the medicine was ready, she asked the pharmacist, "Do you take card or cash?" "Both," he said. Maria took out her bank card. "Can I pay by contactless?"
Of course.
After paying, she asked politely, "Could I have a receipt, please?" The pharmacist handed it over. Then he added casually, "Do you have a loyalty card with us?" Maria laughed softly. "No. Do you have a loyalty card?" "Yes, it gives you small discounts." "I should probably get one," she said. Navigating the underground. After leaving the pharmacy, Maria walked to the nearest underground station. She loved the London transport system, but it was still confusing sometimes. At the entrance, she asked a staff member, "Excuse me, where can I top up my Oyster card?" He pointed to the ticket machine. After topping up her card, Maria went down to the platform. A recorded voice echoed across the station. "Mind the gap." She stepped carefully onto the train. A few minutes later, the train suddenly stopped. Passengers looked at each other in frustration. An announcement followed. "The trains are delayed again." A woman beside Maria sighed loudly. Maria turned to her and asked politely, "Do you know how often the buses run from here?" "Every 10 minutes, usually," the woman said. Maria nodded thoughtfully. "I see. I need to renew my travel pass soon anyway." The job search. That evening, Maria met her friend Lucia at a small cafe. Lucia had lived in London for 5 years and understood how difficult the beginning could be. "So," Lucia said, stirring her coffee, "how's life in London?" Maria laughed tiredly. "Complicated. I'm looking for a job and everything feels slow." Lucia leaned forward. "Have you updated your CV?" Maria opened her laptop. "Actually, can you help me with my CV?" Lucia smiled.
Of course.
They spent the next hour editing and improving the document. When they finished, Lucia said, "Your experience looks good." Maria nodded confidently. "Yes, I have experience in this field." 2 days later, Maria walked into a design studio in central London. The manager greeted her politely. Maria took a deep breath. "Hello, I'd like to apply for this position." The manager studied her portfolio. "This is impressive work." Maria smiled nervously. "Well, I've just moved to the UK, but I'm learning quickly." The manager asked a few questions about her experience. Then Maria asked, "Do you offer training?" "Yes," he replied. "That's good," Maria said. "Also, I'm available immediately." "Do you live far from here?" the manager asked. Maria shook her head. "No, I live nearby." Cafe culture. After the interview, Maria met Lucia again. They entered a popular cafe near the river. Lucia looked around. "It's quite busy at the moment." When it was their turn to order, Maria said to the barista, "I'd like a flat white, please." Then she added, "Can I get that with oat milk?" Lucia ordered food and asked, "Do you have any vegan options?" When the drinks were ready, Maria asked, "Can I have it to take away?" The British queue. Later, they visited a bakery. Maria accidentally stood in the wrong line. A woman tapped her shoulder politely. "You're in the wrong queue." "Oh, sorry." The woman pointed across the shop. There's a queue over there. Maria laughed. I'm still learning British queue culture. Shopping for a coat. A few days later, Maria went shopping for a winter coat. A shop assistant approached her. Maria smiled politely. I'm just browsing, thanks. But she soon found a coat she liked. She asked the assistant, Do you have this in a different size? Yes, the assistant said. Maria asked, Where is the fitting room? After trying the coat on, she checked the price tag. Her eyes widened. Wow, it's too expensive. She asked, Is it on sale? Not yet, the assistant replied. Maria sighed. Can I return this if it doesn't fit? Yes. She nodded slowly. All right, I'll think about it. Before leaving, she smiled and said, Thanks, that's really helpful. Life lessons in London. As the weeks passed, Maria slowly became more confident. She learned how to manage paperwork, open a bank account, travel across the city, and communicate with people from different cultures. London was still confusing sometimes, but it no longer felt impossible. One evening, she stood on a bridge overlooking the Thames. The city lights reflected on the water, and the air smelled of rain again. Maria smiled quietly. For the first time since she arrived in Britain, she felt something important. She felt at home.